Everybody, this is Andy and Dano. Thanks for watching another episode of Andy versus Dano webcast. This episode is sponsored by Stiqr. Stiqr is a jQuery WYSIWYG editor where you don't need to touch the codes to change your website. Go ahead and check out Stiqr.com. That's Stiqr.com. They have a free trial going on, and check them out. Thanks, Stiqr.
Hey yo, this is the Andy versus Dano show. We're a competition website where we compete against each other to improve our lives and do things that we've always wanted to do but never had enough oomph to get it done. So this is where it's at. Today we're going to talk about just doing it. Just get in there and just starting your goals today. Not wait for a New Year's resolution, not wait for a date. We're also going to talk about our favorite resource of the week. We're going to remind you of our poll, which Andy put up an awesome video of our competition that's going to be up for February, so get your vote in. I'm almost ruining our script right there because we're supposed to talk about the due dates later, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now. January 25th, go and vote on our Facebook page, which you get to by bit.ly/AVD poll. And again, if you are a follower, which I hope you are, on our Facebook, you'll see that poll already up there. And then we're going to finish off talking about some racing, and then we'll get going. So Andy, how was your week?
Our week's been awesome, basically. Just working a lot. Yeah, I've just been working a lot, and I've been reading the book 4 Hour Body, and one of the advice that I'm taking from it is to give myself a free day. So they say, okay, you can be strict on eating and all that stuff, 6 days out of the week, but at least dedicate one day to eat anything you want, So I did that, and it's going to be my every Saturday, and yeah, they say it shouldn't hurt too much. You don't really have to do calorie count or anything like that, just as long as 6 days out of the week you eat clean. So that's what I've been doing and just working a lot.
That's a smart day. I was actually in Costco and I was kind of browsing through it. And I saw that part of the book where he talked about that and how, it's actually better for your calorie intake too, because you're almost, because you lower your calories so low during the week, and then you have that one day where you just let yourself go and your body goes, okay, I'm not starving. Everything's A-okay. And then you see your metabolism doesn't get all jacked. It's a neat idea. I think it's definitely got some merit.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who goes on a diet, they're thinking, okay, when can I eat a cheesecake, or when can I eat a lasagna, or drink, and stuff like that. Instead of wondering when you're going to do it and having the temptation to always do it, and then doing it today and then tomorrow, maybe a couple of days down the road, you have a set date to actually eat those type of stuff. So it's not like, hey, you can never ever eat these things again, and they feel guilty and then the temptation kicks in and they start eating it. Instead, they have a day that just, is for all the stuff that you want to eat, so.
I don't remember, he doesn't call it a cheat day though, right? I don't really like that terminology, cheat day.
Okay.
Well,
I don't know what the day is called, but I think he did
day.
use that. I think he did use that term though. So
see, I'm not. And this isn't the topic of the podcast, but the cheat day seems like the rest of the week you're not being good to yourself. Yeah. So the whole psychological thing, it shouldn't be called a cheat day. It should be called an indulge day or something. But
no,
anyway,
I know what you're talking about, because words make up our mind, right? So. Yeah, it makes up thoughts and stuff like that. So if you call it cheat day, then you're going to feel guilty about it, like you're actually doing something bad that day. But if it's part of the program, then it's going to be something good. So, okay, let's continue.
All positives. Yeah. So speaking of positive, you got to when you want to make that positive change in your life, we didn't really talk about this too much last week, but, when I was editing the video last week, I'm thinking, one of my beliefs, and that we didn't really talk about it too much, and I know it's a belief you share as well, is that it's the whole New Year's resolution thing. It's about, every year we all do the same thing where we wait until a specific date and then we decide, okay, now I'm going to change. And one thing I've always been a believer of, and we kind of, our example of it is, if you're going to make a change, make the change now. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't set a date. Don't wait until New Year's. Just start now, because if you start now, before you know it, the changes will be made in your life. You just got to do it now.
Yep.
And so I say that because I know there's a lot of negative trends associated with waiting on a specific date. I know from my behavior that I tend to, let's say, next Sunday I'm going to start, I'm going to start a diet. And because of that, throughout the week, or maybe especially the day before that, I'll just behave extra bad. I will just be like, tomorrow I'm going to, go on this diet. I'm going to eat 1,200 calories a day. So tonight I'm going to eat a whole cheesecake, or tonight I'm going to
Yeah.
eat like 6 slices of pizza because I know tomorrow for the rest of my life I'm going to eat healthy. So this is my last time to indulge. And so I think it creates this problem. And so and you do other things like you decide to go to the gym later, even though if you have time now, like I could go to the gym, but Sunday I'm going to start that diet, so I'll just skip the gym and watch a few more hours of football. And I think it's really bad because you create like this extra step for you because you end up taking all those calories in and you end up not really changing your habit. And I hate to say it, I know everyone's gonna, when you try to eat healthier and change your life for a positive, you will eventually kind of fall off the wagon, and that's okay. It's okay to fall off. It's just recognizing that you've fallen off and getting yourself back on it. But if you do this thing where you wait until a specific day and like I said, you do all these bad habits, you're just going to create an extra hill for you to have to walk up because you've already started destroying your body more. And I think that's why through my weight loss journey, I've kind of had extra weight come on it the way it has, because I'll be okay for a while, then I fall off the wagon, and I go, oh well, next week I'll start it up again, and then but because of that, I'll end up taking in like so much more calories, and it just works against me. What do you think, Andy? What are your thoughts on that?
No, that's happened to me before too. Knowing that, hey, I'm gonna start, losing weight or something like that, starting on Monday, then I'll just start eating a bunch of stuff until the day because I think, okay, I can just enjoy it while it lasts because I know it's gonna be a bunch of hard work later on. But the power of getting stuff done now, the power of now, it's almost the same problem like it's almost the same thing like procrastination, right? I mean, because you're procrastinating everything until that certain point when really you should just do it right now. And that goes for, diet, getting work done or anything like that, whatever you want to accomplish in life. The best time to do anything is right now instead of just waiting a couple weeks or even till the New Year's to start something new, And there's another thing that I heard about before from a psychology instructor. He said that a lot of people think, okay, you're a teenager and you think by the time you're 18, your life's going to change. Or you think by the time you're 21, your life's going to change, You imagine how you are, when you're going to be 21. You're going to go to the clubs. You're going to be a better person. You're going to look better. You're going to be taller. You're going to be stronger or whatever, right? And this instructor said that's not the case. People, it doesn't work like that. A lot of people think that, once you're 65 years old, oh yeah, when I'm an old person, I'm gonna be going out, I'm gonna be hitting the gym. I'm not gonna be like a lot of old people that just stay at home to just read the newspaper or watch TV or something like that. I'm gonna be that cool old guy, And they
Like
said,
like in the Beastie Boy videos, right? The cool guys walking down the street. Rapping.
Yeah, yeah, and basically the instructor said you are gonna be at 65 what you are right now. If you're not a social type of person, then at 65 you're not gonna be a social type of person. Just because you're gonna become 18 or 21 or 65 doesn't mean that something is magically gonna change in your life and everything's gonna be much better or be the thing that you want to be. So if you want to be something, then be it now because nothing's going to come later on unless you bring it to yourself. So if you want to be social, then you better start building the habit of, just going out and doing all types of stuff and being fun yourself right now, So, yeah, so I thought that was a really cool example that he brought up, Yeah.
Yeah, because age is just a number anyway invented by mankind.
Yeah.
And your life is something you got to push for and be. I totally agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that with waiting is that I think it kills momentum because when you decide like, oh, I have this project, I have this brilliant idea for a company, and you go, well, but I'll start that on Sunday, and what happens is you don't get to it. You get distracted and you never achieve that goal. So if you have a great idea, just dig in, just jump in and do it.
And it's also the same thing with problems too, right? Getting stuff done now and problems. If you keep waiting, the problem's only going to get bigger. I think a lot of people have dealt with this issue. And a very, very simple example is like dishes in the sink, right? If you don't fix the problem, it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger until it's out of control. So the dishes is just one small, very simple example, but then it could go also into like your career or your work or something like that. If you keep waiting and a problem is there, with time it doesn't go away. With time, it only gets worse. You know,
It's like
so
super,
yeah.
like a super feedback loop, and nothing feels more amazing than just doing stuff and getting it off the list. It's kind of rejuvenating. That's why it's the whole, like, you've probably heard of what. Do you know what it's called when you do the worst thing you want to do in the morning? When you wake up, you do the thing you hate to do, and you do it first. There's a word for it.
I don't know what the word for it is, but when I do to-do lists and stuff like that, I actually put the things that are hardest in the front. You know, so a lot of people would put the easiest stuff in the front, but I just put the hardest in the front because I just want to get it over with. But yeah,
And then, but then when you finish that hard task, you're like, ah, sweet, this rocks. And then you just push that momentum forward, and you finish up the easier task. Well, I've
yeah,
heard that even when you're the same thing goes with easier task. If you're on a task and you know the solution for it, you actually
hmm
should shift directly to the hard stuff because you know how
hmm
to solve it, so you feel good about that. You don't necessarily have to work on it yet, but you just go after the hard task because then you just get like it's some energy cycle. I forget what it's called, but this is something I've heard recently.
yeah.
I wish I had the source for it, but
Yeah. So, basically, getting stuff done now in the power of the present is very, very important to fight off, procrastination and regretting later, down the line and stuff like that. And one of the really big one is, if you want to change and all that stuff, a lot of time we look back at our life and we start regretting, why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do that? So one of the thing that you wanted to talk about is basically, forgiving yourself, right?
yeah, that's definitely something about it. Is that you know it's really hard to move forward if you can't just forgive the past. You
hmm
know, like what I was talking about earlier, when you fall off the wagon, you were on a diet and you were really going well for a month, and then you had that one week where you just went to like let things go to hell. The best thing is just to go, okay, I had that bad week, but I still want to achieve that goal, and I still want to lose that weight, and so just put it
hmm
behind you and just move forward with it, and you'll get there. I mean, it's just a bumpy path, but eventually get to where you want to be, and the habit will change, and you'll be very happy and excited with
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, I really like that. And yeah, if we keep hanging on to the past, then it's really hard for us to move on and stuff like that. So we just forgive ourselves and try to forget, and then just make the changes here on forward. So yeah. So no, that's a very good topic, getting stuff done now, and it has a lot to do with our challenges and all that stuff because a lot of the challenges that we're gonna take on are stuff that we've always wanted to do, but we've kind of just kept pushing it, into the future and stuff. So now we're basically putting it into our own hands. We're putting it into the hands of the people who vote for our challenges, and they're gonna decide, what we should do for each month and stuff like that. So we're definitely gonna get stuff done on Andy versus Dano, and I just want to do a quick reminder that we have a voting poll going on our Facebook, and the link is bit.ly/AVD poll. So you can go there. We have 4 different choices to choose from, and then you can pick one, and that's what we're going to do for February. And I also believe that you have some resources of the week, right, Dana?
I do have we have a pretty sweet resource for the week. Before we move on, I want to say one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole Get It Now thing, on our Facebook page, I would love if you went to our wall and just posted the one thing you're going to do for the next week or the one change you're going to make in your lives. I'd love to hear what you guys are trying to do, and now is the time to do it, and you just start now. And because you post it to the public, a little more motivation to get it done.
Yeah.
So in our resources of the week, this is a podcast I've been following for a while. I love it. It's called Get It Done Guy Podcast by
Mm-hmm.
Steve Robbins. The URL for that is the hypertext protocol stuff /getitdone.quickanddirtytips.com, and we will post that, of course, in the show notes. The things I love about the podcast is that they're short. They get to the point. He always has great tips. He has a pretty neat comedy aspect to it. Some of them are a little more out there than the others. They're funny. They're definitely worth adding to your podcast lineup, and I highly recommend it.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I've always came across this on my iPhone because what I tend to do is just listen to podcasts on my phone when I'm resting or anything like that. One of the big one that I always listen to is Mixergy.com. It kind of pumps me up and all that stuff. And to tie it in with get it done now and stuff like that. Well, the thing is, a lot of times when we are motivated, when we are inspired to do something, that's the moment that we should take action and start getting the momentum going instead of waiting a couple hours or waiting until the next day or next week, because we don't know how we're going to be like in the future. We might not have that motivation or that inspiration. So, when that does happen to me where I don't feel as motivated to do something as I did before, I tend to just listen to some podcasts or music or something like that to basically, the emotions back up.
One thing I started doing, and I posted the other day on on my personal blog, which the super secret URL, yeah, it's pretty obvious what my blog URL would be. Anyway, sorry. Is I started as I'm listening to podcasts for today, because when I'm working on stuff, I actually have podcasts going in the background. Mixergy's one of them. I have lots of other ones like science ones and other startup ones, and the list is endless. My curiosity is infinite, and every time when I hear stuff I'm curious about, because of my experience on Andy versus Dano of using the software tools, I've even started using Audio Hijack to rewind real fast, record that segment, and then dropping that inspiring segment into my Evernote file. So if ever I feel like kind of low and down, like not motivated, I just go back to that inspiration area, my Evernote, and just go and start playing those clips, and I get kind of pumped back up again because I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right, that's the interview with Tim Ferriss, or that was the interview with that one company, the Molehill guy, I forgot his name, but you hear stuff and it's really inspiring, and so I found doing those little audio snippets being a way to kind of pump myself back up.
Yeah, that's very good, and it actually works, right? I mean,
yeah. What I think is so neat about it, it's kind of lazy because, they're podcasts, right? And so I have the file on my computer, and I can go the longer way about it, where I go, oh, that was inspiring, and then I take the file and I drag it to my editor and I crop it out and then I save it. Using Audio Hijack, I just rewind a few seconds or whatever, just hit hijack, record, it records it, and then just got it there. I don't have to go and open up another program, and it's a way to be more efficient with your time.
Wow, you know what the funny thing is? I think I kind of do something like that, but I don't use Evernote or snippets or anything like that. What I do is get really inspirational or videos that really pumps me up, and instead of putting it inside like Evernote, I post it on my Facebook. I post it on my personal Facebook so that everybody else can see it too, so I can share this motivation with other people. But the other thing that it does is, when I do go on Facebook, instead of wasting too much time on there, I see my videos, I click on it, it pumps me up, and then I go back to work. So
that's a good idea. I should start posting it on Facebook. It'd be nice to share stuff.
And then in the messages and stuff like that on Facebook, I actually post a bunch of different other videos that pumps me up and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. I just use it as like a database to store all my motivational videos and all that stuff, and I share it with people at the same time. So
I see your videos. Your inspirational number 22 just got posted, right?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet, but I saw that. You've been posting them for a while. I've been watching them once in a while. I check them out. So you keep me inspired. You should start doing some. Too bad you don't. You maybe could find a little extra time, and you can pre-record like ahead of it, like why Andy thinks this is inspirational, and then have the video roll afterwards. I don't know.
That's cool. Well, I kind of put a snippet about, what I'm thinking about in the video and stuff like that, or I take the best quote I think is from the video, and then I put it as the title of that video. But
that's definitely a faster way to go about it. So
yeah, talking about faster, I think you have a 7K coming up, right?
Oh no. Yes, I have a 7K in March, which is St. Patrick's run. It's running of the green. It's a 7K, a lucky 7. And you know what? If you live or you're going to be in the Denver area, I would love for you to come and join me. My wife is running with me. A few of my family members are going to be running with me. Q from Entertainment from the Rest of Us. They threw their hat in the ring, and they're going to be running with us as well. Hopefully they don't leave me in the dust. The URL for that, if you guys want to check it out and register, I think you have until the end of January to get like the cheapie rate, and then after that, it increases a little bit. I was going to make a joke, but I don't want people to take it seriously. It increases a little bit, and then on the day of the run, it's like you almost double. So you should get in there, run early, and it's not H, I'll scratch that. bit.ly/AVD7K. See how I just squatted on that one? AVD7K is my 7K run forever. And please, come join me if you live in the Denver area. If not, if you're going to be in Denver, yeah, I would love to see you there. I'd love to meet our fans. I'd love to meet people who are inspired by our podcast or listen to our podcast and have some critiques. I'd love to hear them. Andy, you gonna fly out?
I don't know if I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna try to basically. I'm pretty sure I can find a lot of 10Ks and 5Ks in this area alone right here too. So, but that would be neat. We'll see what happens when it nears. I might just purchase on that day and fly out and probably go run with you. And the cool thing is that this is gonna actually be your first type of run, right?
Yeah, it's my first ever run, and it wasn't until this year that I've actually ran a mile. So, pretty big. I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm ready to go for it. It's a huge thing for me.
Yeah. Hey, good luck with all that stuff and the prepping too. Getting yourself conditioned to actually do the 7K. Well. So, yeah.
Yeah, I saw an app that one of my friends on Facebook was using. Kenny Adams. He also has some weight training stuff. There's some 5K training thing. I installed that today, and I'm going to start using it so I can get prepared for it.
Yeah, good luck with all of that, and big props to everybody else that's going along too. And what is the website to entertainment for the rest of us, if they want to check out? Yeah,
it's basically entertainment. The first letter of every word in the name. So EFTROU.com or FTROU. Okay. We'll make sure to have that in the show notes. They have a live show every Sunday at 4 o'clock Rocky Mountain time.
Yeah.
So pull up your Rocky Mountain oysters and eat away and watch some entertainment.
Yeah, and sometimes Dano is on the show too, so you can check him out right there too. Yeah.
And you've been invited as well, and I know that you're going to try to make the show one of these days. It'd be awesome to have you on there and talk about some entertainment.
Yeah. Okay, so our video, we just wanted to focus a lot on getting stuff done, the power of now, not procrastinating and stuff like that, and just update on everything. And that about wraps up our show. So I just want to say thank you, everyone, and we'll see you at our next webcast.
Thank you, everybody.